rock star, do them all.
Refugio. Coach, can you introduce your athletes, please?
Yes, sir. This is my son, Kobe Herring, number 50. This is my stud running back, Jalen Mascoro, number 2. This is my stud nose guard, Trace Mascoro, number 53.
I'll open it up for questions.
Just after the two title game losses in the last 3 years, what's it mean to have this group be the ones that finish it off?
They're always special and they never get old, but I'm going to tell you something. As I sit here and look at these two on my hand, I wanted this one for the kids because they've been here twice. They're the winningest group of seniors, or the winningest class in Refugio history for 4-year span. But what we didn't have was a championship. We lost it as freshmen, we lost it as juniors, so I wanted more than anything else for these guys to finish it right and to get a ring and to send them off on to college the right way.
Sorry to interrupt. Can we get Coach a mic?
Just that one.
Jalen, I was talking to you on the field, sort of finish this out. You were saying what they did. They figured out your game. Can you talk more about that?
Well, they were keyed in on me, and our quarterback came through and made big plays. Our defense stepped up and won us the game.
They did an outstanding job, just like I knew they would. We're real similar. Both of us play great defense. Both of us like to pound the rock, and both of us like to try to big play you with play action passes. I thought they did an outstanding job. We had a huge size advantage, but they submarine and cut our linemen at the line of scrimmage and just made piles. It's a great job coaching by Coach Kim and all the kids. They played really hard, and as y'all saw, it could have gone either way. It took every little kick, every little special teams, every little tackle to win it all. These things are never easy.
Jason, just talk about your decision there at the end to kick the field goal right in the process.
Well, the only problem is if I'd had another timeout, then I would have, of course, pounded it. What went to working for us great. We pounded Jalen probably 30 times in the first 3 quarters, and then they just kept on, and we hadn't used Jacoby at all, who I knew was he's like a tailback playing quarterback, honestly. He can really run the football. And then in that last drive, we just rode him. But all of that was set up because of pounding the rock with Jalen early in the game in the first 3 quarters. Since I did not have another timeout, Mike, I really didn't have an option, because with about, 20 seconds left, if we take a chance and run the ball, I wasn't going to throw it for sure. And if we run the ball and then don't get back on the line of scrimmage, then we might not even get the field goal. So I thought squeeze it down as much as I could. Even though it was second down, when little Diego's done great. He's a sophomore, little PAT kicker. Jacoby's our holder. He's really done an outstanding job, and I had a lot of confidence that he would drive it through.
Did you say anything to Diego before he went out there?
I said, do what you do, I love you, buddy. Do what you do, I love you. And, I told him, I said, there's really no pressure, Haas. At the worst, if you miss it, we're just going to go to overtime and win it. You see what I'm saying? I didn't really feel that way, but that's what I told him. I was nervous as I could be.
Well, you had a team strike for big plays as many times as they did against y'all today.
Yeah, well, no, Navarro did a real good job. What people don't understand is that when a team pounds the rock and pounds the rock and pounds the rock and pounds the rock and then does a wraparound draw or a flea flicker, it takes all 11 to stop them pounding the rock. And so they're going to make a few big plays. We play a real aggressive defense. We're bump and run, in your face, man to man. And we put everybody else on the run. That's what's got us here. But we're going to give up some fades. I mean, that's just going to happen. We're going to give up some fades, especially to a team in the finals that can throw and catch a little bit, So I thought our kids did just enough to win, and that's what matters.
How is Jacoby now?
He's fine, but the state championships have a way of healing everything.
Was he sick before the game? Did he have a flu or something? Or?
No, I'm sure it's just stress and nerves, and I don't know that he felt great, because I noticed yesterday we fed him at Luby's. He chose not to eat, and then last night he ate a little bit at Chili's, and then this morning I noticed he didn't eat anything at IHOP. So something was going on with his stomach and his belly, and but he sucked it up. He was throwing up, played great, and it took every single kid, everybody on the team to pull this thing out. I'm proud of everybody.
Trace and Kobe, were you surprised at how good the defensive front was?
Not at all surprised. We knew going in that they were really good on defense. I mean, they held Mark to 20, so I mean, we knew they were really good. But no, I wasn't surprised a bit. They had a great defense.
Same thing. I mean, they cut us off, cut us in the legs, like Coach Aaron said. They really made some problems.
Our offense relies on movement. I mean, when you pound the rock, we're going to block down, double down, sometimes triple down, banana kick out, and you count on movement. A real good defense against that is for somebody to hit you in the knees, especially when you got them. I mean, we average about 250 up front, and they averaged about 180 up front. Coach did a great job of just submarining and hitting us in the knees and causing a pile where it was hard to get going. So, outstanding job. We've had teams do that to us before. We kind of expected it. We know when you run this kind of offense, you're going to get something different. It might be a 5-3, it might be hit submarine in the knees, but they did a great job. Hats off to the coach for doing that.
Did y'all sense they were getting tired in the fourth quarter?
Yes.
Did you sense that they were getting tired in the fourth quarter?
I mean, with our schemes, I think both teams were definitely tired. But man, those kids played to the very end. So did we. But nah, man, if they were tired, they didn't show it.
You talk about having a size advantage and how the other team were able to grab the talent and cut you. Was that the most physical team you faced all year?
I'd say Navarro is still the most physical team, hands down. But they were definitely physical. The size advantage, we thought it would help us out, and it did, in some cases. But like you said, them cutting us and and submarining down, it hurt us bad. But we made the plays we needed to make, and we won the game. That's all that matters.
Jason, how does this compare to 11?
They're all awesome. This one, I'm going to go out on a limb and say 11 was special because it was the first one. And when they hired me at Refugio, they said, Coach Herring, we're sick and tired of going to the quarterfinals. And I laughed, and nobody laughed. They were dead serious. You better win it all, and I hadn't won it all. 7, 8, 9, 10. So I was going on my 5th year, and we'd been 4 years in a row quarters at least, but we had not won it. So that one was special as far as job security goes. I knew I had to win it to not get fired. I'm going to tell you, there's not a closer bunch of kids that I'm not closer. I haven't been this close to a bunch of kids ever. My son plays on this team. When I got here, these little rascals were 3rd graders, and Kobe was a little 3rd grader in Refugio way back in 2007. And so I've seen Jay-Bird grow up. I've seen Trace grow up. I've seen Kobe. They've been in my house. We've cried together. We've laughed together. And there's no question this one's really special.
Jalen, you kind of put into words what, this is the last game to play for Refugio at the end of the state championship.
Well, it wasn't my best game, but the team overall played wonderful. We got the win, and that's all that matters. Yes, sir.
How does it feel to win state?
You can't describe it. I don't think it'll set in. From experience, the last couple of times, you're just in such shock, and you're just so drained emotionally and physically and mentally. You can't even really wrap your mind around what just happened. In a few days, it'll hit. But this bunch of kids did. Last year we had a very talented team, but we had tons of off-the-field distractions, tons of drama. And I asked these kids, let's just make one final push. This is your last shot. And I told Mike this 3 or 4 times. I think from the very get-go, these guys decided that, hey, we're seniors, and this is our last shot, and we're not going to throw away our last opportunity. Because I'll be honest with you, we could have won it any other years. I mean, we could have. We didn't. I mean, I'm not saying we could have beat Canadian. I don't know. But Cisco was a war for a long time, and when they were freshmen, and then when they were sophomores, we got beat up. Mason knocked us out. And last year, I think Canadian was the best team. Now, we didn't play our best, but I think Canadian was the best team. So we've had our opportunities. I'm real grateful that this bunch of kids got a ring before they got out of high school.
Kobe, what's he been like around the house this week?
Leave the room for a second. Nah, man, he's always high strung. He's like that all the time. I mean, it didn't really matter. It's just state week's just another week for him. But I mean, he's been real. I don't even know what the word is. Without sounding bad. Yeah, stressed definitely. That's one of his. feel like we had more confidence this game going into it because we didn't have as many disciplinary issues or having to worry about, little distractions here and there. So I felt like we were all, at ease, especially him.
I tell you one thing that's real ironic that I don't think anybody even knows is tonight we suited up every single player we started the very first game with, minus 2 discipline issues. We didn't have one major injury this year, and neither did Crawford that I know of. I may be wrong on Crawford. I know for a fact on us, that never happens in a 16-week season. You talk about how hard these things are to win. You got to be talented. You got to be blessed. You got to be lucky. And this is the same thing. We went all the way 16 weeks, and we had some little nicks and bruises, and we're beat up out there. We're beat up. But every single kid that started August 1st 2-a-days with me suited up tonight. I don't know it probably never happened. And I counted Crawford's starters from the very first game till now, and I don't think I saw anybody missing. So I think that was 2 teams that made it 16 weeks healthy, and as a result, y'all got a great show. You got a great show.
Any final questions?
Yeah, Coach, how much did you see of Jackson Carroll's injury, and what do you know about his status?
So I'm sorry I couldn't hear you.
How
sir.
much did you see of Jackson Carroll's injury?
You know what? It's crazy. I feel terrible about this because I go out there and for some reason somebody said cramp, and then they're testing all this, and I'm saying, Jackson, get up, you're okay. And then the guy says, Coach, it's his neck, and then it went from. Me and Jackson were joking. I had no idea. When I first went out there, the very first trainer said cramp, and so I'm thinking it's no big deal. Jackson's extremities were all moving, his hands were moving, he could move his head. I think it's just precautionary. When anytime there's a neck, you want to be careful. So I don't know the extent of it, but my gut and my heart says that because he was able to feel everything and move everything, he's going to be fine. But that's completely, and that's not official. I'm waiting to talk to Mom as soon as I get through the interview. That's an unbelievable story too, Jackson Carroll. Jackson Carroll, real quick, number 44, went from never, ever hardly seeing the field except in 60-0 blowouts. He was a backup. He stayed the course, 7th grade, 8th grade, worked his tail end off. Week 9, one of our kids made a poor decision, and I had to remove him from the team. And we had no more tight ends, and we're a tight end offense. We're fixing to play Shiner. It's week 10 on a Wednesday. Right before we play Shiner, we lose our stud tight end, 6'3", 215 pounds to not an injury. And Jackson had been a backup lineman his whole life, number 70. I go to my offensive line coach and said, what in the world are we going to do? Our whole offense, we spent this whole year pounding the rock behind our tight end. He said, I know exactly what to do, Coach Jackson Carroll. I said, what? Jackson? He never played a down in his life, hardly. Never hardly. We switched his number to number 44, started him with 1 day's practice, the next day against Shiner, and the rest is history. We've ran behind him 100% of the time, him and Trace. He's done an outstanding job, Jackson Carroll has, and it's a good story. Good human interest story about sticking with it, and you don't necessarily have to always be the stud to still be a huge part of the team, and then when your number's called, stepping up to the plate. It's a great story.
Thank you, Coach. Congratulations.
All right, thank y'all very much.